which was to get resources to people who suddenly found themselves out of work and in need of retraining or recertification, or if they're new to Canada, getting materials to allow them to get credentials confirmed. So, as I said, the library is looking for people, and again, if you're being interviewed, they're looking for an awareness of the need to be nimble and comfortable with that. It's nice to have a planned, a work plan that is detailed and ready to roll out, but the reality of the public library in Toronto is that frequently it's shelved for a more immediate, sometimes political issue. The third would be a universal job skill today, an interest and ability to acquire new knowledge. And it's impossible to say exactly what a librarian at the library might be asked to do 3 years from now. And just going back a short period of time, librarians at Toronto Public Library were not involved in social networking sites or gaming, and they are now. Large numbers of them are now. So we want people who have skills, and they bring those skills to the library. But we also want people who, again, have an awareness, an interest, and are prepared to take on the next big thing, whatever it turns out to be. The fourth area would be, it's a significant issue for Toronto, but it's an interest and ability to work in a diverse environment. And that's very important for librarians who join Toronto Public Library. The library collects in over 40 languages, so the collections reflect that. Programming reflects it. And the diversity faced in Toronto is demographic, by age, cultural, by ability, and also economic. And TPL has defined in its strategic plan a goal to reduce what the plan calls the physical, cultural, and administrative barriers to full participation in the library. So librarians in particular are expected to encourage participation in diverse communities. And that, to give you an example of something that is going on, it would be the program for library services for homeless people. It's not obviously a large community, but it's a community in need of high level of service. And for those interested in public libraries, or Toronto Public Library, that's a significant issue for the librarians entering the system. And managers are looking for, again, awareness, openness for that. And the fifth and final qualification or characteristic that TPL is looking for would be, I consider it the succession planning factor. But as you're beginning a new career as a librarian, it's more of a recognition of the career opportunities within TPL. And of course, you would be interviewed for entry-level librarian positions, and that's the job you want to respond to in the interview. But you should be aware that Toronto Public Library is very concerned about the large number of retirements which will occur over the next number of years. And in new graduates, there would be we would be looking for people who recognize and are interested in the future, assuming leadership roles, as Karen said. And they might be in the area of supervision or special collections, subject areas, and eventually management. And again, I wouldn't, this isn't, I certainly don't recommend people interviewing for the manager job when it's an entry-level position. But it is something to be aware of when you're looking at your career, and also when you are being interviewed, because that future interest in leadership is something Toronto Public Library is aware of. And I'll pass it on.